How you doing? Corey Roman, BushCraft Alliance. First question, why am I wearing these stupid glasses? Well, I'll tell you. No, there's no sunlight in here in my basement, in the workshop area, but it was driving me absolutely bat poo crazy when I would look at this screen to make these videos. I could see my eyes looking away from the camera lens. So in order to eliminate that, I can put these glasses on and I'm looking up. Everything is great. So please bear with me with the glasses. Maybe it'll become some signature thing because I'm so cool. That's not true. Totally scratch that. I hope to be a cool guy, but anyway, let's get on with it. So, if you joined the BushCraft Alliance and you know someone else that would be interested in the type of things that we're going to be looking at here over the next several weeks and ongoing into infinity and beyond, then please direct them through your Facebook. Add them manually. You can actually go and add somebody. I'd love to do that YouTube thing where you're pointing at where to do it, but I have absolutely no clue where it's going to be on the page. So somewhere over here, I think, there's going to be a section where it says add members. If you click the members section on the group page, it should show, well, I don't even think you have to click the members section. It'll just say suggested friends or something, and it'll be from your friends list. And then you can pick and choose from there people that you think might be interested. But in all honesty, you should add just about everybody you know, because one day someone is going to need some of the materials that are on this. I always start out by saying that regardless of how many years, it's been almost 25 years now that I've been doing bushcraft survival, woodsman's techniques, you name it, foraging, tracking, anything to do with being out in the woods and surviving. That does not make me an expert. If you don't hear someone humbly project that they're without knowledge in several different categories, then you're probably better off finding someone else to listen to when they have something to show you. I've learned a lot of things. I'd like to pass those on to you, but by no means are any of those set in stone. If you see me doing something that you think is wrong, can be improved upon, or maybe you just got a better idea, please feel free to put in the description or comments of any video. Of course, these are going on YouTube, on the BushCraft Alliance YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe to that. Again, bring anybody you can into it, but it's also going to be mirrored here. If you're watching this, more than likely you found it through our Facebook group page. And if you haven't and you're on YouTube, please, if you're on Facebook as well, look us up, the BushCraft Alliance. We're just a small group now, but looking to expand, because all of these things, this inventory of knowledge, is necessary to help us survive and thrive if there were a number of different situations, which we'll go over those or whatever. But for this first video, this is video number 1, I would like to say that someone, like a week or so ago, actually a friend of mine that I used to work with, Mike Craig, had posted a video by, I believe his name's David West. I'll put his name and his YouTube channel link in the description below to give this guy credit for what he placed on there. Had like a 4 fire creating primitive technique video, and we had found it interesting that there were a couple of methods on there we really hadn't been too experienced with or knew much about. And one of those was fire rolling. I'd never heard of it. 25 years. See, that just goes to show you right there. It doesn't matter how long you've been doing anything or what you think you know. I don't know everything. And just don't let my wife hear me say that. But I think every man has that syndrome. But again, thank you for joining me, and let me explain to you what I've done so far. So what I have here is a pan of trash. Each one of these little rat tails, if you want to go so far as to call it, is my failed attempt at fire rolling. Now, I've still yet, by this video, successfully fire rolled a piece of cotton cloth or cotton material. According to David's video, you can take cotton rolled up. This is cotton balls. You see that? Yeah. And this is t-shirt material, and it's been woven up tightly into a fire roll. Now, the video was posted on our group page, so I think you should go back and watch how easy this David guy makes this fire roll technique look. I mean, he's like the Chet Atkins of fire roll. Because, I mean, it's obvious that I did everything visually that I saw that he was doing and was just incapable of taking. This was my fake tinder bundle. I didn't have time to go out and actually make a tinder bundle, so I just took some cotton balls, balled it up. That's what I was trying to catch on fire. And as you can tell by these dark ones, I actually produced some smoke. So this is not a farce or some fake method of anything. This blackness is actually representative, not of me using ashes and all that, but of literally rolling this material and it beginning to smolder, but because it was so tight. And, I think I was doing something wrong. I was unable to produce some cinder that I could transfer from that material to this ball of cotton and catch it on fire. I blew on it, and I did it wrong, obviously. So I sent in comments to the guy, messages on his YouTube channel, some questions, how long does it normally take? How many strokes does it take? Can you answer these questions for me? And he was very quick to get back, very gracious. And he said, honestly, and I think this was what my problem was, that you needed to control your roll and do long strokes. Well, I don't know if you can see this here yet. These were the two boards that I used for the fire roll method. And I took the material and I laid it on the smaller board here, and then I began to, roll it back and forth until I got the tight roll that it needed, and then I rolled it quickly until I produced a little bit of smoke. And if I went past that, I killed it. If I tried to stop before it, naturally there was no smoke. But as soon as I smelled something and I stopped, I seen smoke, I couldn't do anything with it. It was too tight, couldn't pull it apart. I don't know what I was doing wrong, but I know that I was doing short strokes, and I don't like that one piece of wood is smaller or whatever than another piece of wood. So I'm going to change that. I'm going to continue with these. These are both bed slats, by the way, that we didn't need anymore. So off here in the background, give me a second, I have another big bed slat. I'm going to make two sections with my chop saw over here to try and do this fire roll technique with two pieces of wood. The only thing I don't like about that is this is a survival group. Best case scenario, we're never going to find a chop saw and two perfect pieces of wood to use. We're going to want to split two pieces of wood that we find on a tree with our bush knife, if that's all we've got available. You'll hear me many times, as I've done through the years with many different organizational videos and how-tos and this, that, and the other, tell you that regardless of whatever you put in your bob or bug out bag, the absolute best thing that you can have is what's up here in your noggin. I recommend that everyone become proficient with a woodsman's knife, bushcraft knife, field knife, more commonly called. What are the best ones? Well, just like a gun, it's whatever does the job, fits best in your hand, and you feel comfortable carrying. But I do have some recommendations, and we'll go over them in another video. But you want to be able to do this by selecting, a piece of wood in the woods, because, you're not going to be able to break out the backpack trusty chop saw and find two bed slats laying around in the woods. It's just not going to happen. So, but in order to at least see that I'm capable of producing fire from a piece of cotton, by golly, in the beginning, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use these bed slats here and make me a couple pieces of wood similar to this one, which I almost had fire out of, and we're going to see what we can do with it. So hopefully you'll continue watching or check out the videos also in the group page of this David West guy, as he, like I said, the Chet Atkins and fire rolling, he spits it out like it ain't nothing. He does have another method of primitive fire making called some kind of like friction bamboo thing. I don't know. I'd never seen that one either, but bamboo's not necessarily readily available. I'm sure that other woods can be used. We'll experiment around on that one too, but the fire roll technique seemed real promising to me for one reason. One, if we can master it for use with just any wood out in the woods by splitting it and whatever and producing this fire roll. Hey, what is it that we all have in common when we're in the woods? We're wearing clothes, unless we're on Naked and Afraid, which I could never do that. First of all, I don't like the look of myself naked, and for all intents and purposes, neither would you. So we won't be doing any Naked and Afraid videos. Whew, to all of you out there that were wondering, because I said that, if that was going to happen, it's never going to happen. So thank you again for being a part of this. What is this? What is the BushCraft Alliance? This is video number 1, so let me put it out there like a mission statement, not a mushing statement. There's going to be a time, not if, but when, where a natural disaster, an economic event, something, getting veered off on a trail while on a camping trip, something is going to have you in a situation where having knowledge that we will pass on and share with one another in this group page or here on this YouTube channel, it's going to be a necessary thing. If you don't have this particular knowledge, what will you do? You'll do what you do best, what everyone has in common on this planet, and that's die. Nobody wants that. I don't want it. Your relatives don't want it. Your enemies may want it, but this isn't about competition or about being better than somebody. What this is about is sharing knowledge so that you can fill this up here with enough of anything to triage an injury, forage for food if you don't have any, tracking and trapping, hunting, and we're going to do it all primitively. So like I mentioned before, a lot of people have asked me in the past, what do you recommend to put in a bug out bag? Well, whatever you want, because a bug out bag is not an essential tool. It is a prepper's tool. I'm not a prepper. I do prep. There are things in my household that I will attempt to take with me in the event that something major arises, but this isn't about prepping. It's about education, situational awareness, being in an inventory of unrecognizable tools. Putting yourself in the wilderness, for instance, most of you would just see beauty, trees, and ground cover, but we're going to teach each other how we can see other things there, things that can save our lives or even better them. So thank you for watching this video. We're going to get this fire rolling thing started in the next one. And in case you're wondering what all this is in the background, we're going to be doing a video on making a rocket stove. Now, I have a friend who's a member of the web group. I don't know if he wants to be mentioned yet, but if he doesn't mind, I'll go ahead and say it. David Jesse. And David has made one of these can-style rocket stoves before. We're going to do that. What is a rocket stove? Ha! Got to watch that next video that comes out about rocket stoves so you can find out all about what rocket stoves are. And if you know, that's great and wonderful. Maybe you can watch the video and tell me something I'm doing wrong or a way I could improve something, because I don't know it all. I definitely want to be reproved of any possibility of doing something wrong, because when I get out there and something happens to me, or I'm wanting to thrive or survive in a particular situation, well, you know what? If I know the wrong thing to do, that's going to be bad. Going to be bad for you. If you're with me, it's going to be bad for me. I mean, all the way around. So, again, upcoming video about making this rocket stove. I got lots of materials. We'll talk about why there's so many different cans over here. Going to be doing the fire roll technique on the next video. You've already seen my failures. Hopefully you'll get to see my triumphs. I don't aim to necessarily be as good as David West, but I'd like to, you know, if I can't be the Chet Atkins of fire roll, I'd like to at least be the BB King. I know that was corny. But again, thanks for watching. BushCraft Alliance. Corey Roman. I'm out.